We are living in a pivotal and dangerous moment in American history. And we are facing unprecedented challenges. The world is shifting rapidly every day, something new, shifting rapidly under our feet. And how we respond to all that is going on right now will impact not only our lives, but the lives of our kids and future generations. And in terms of the planet and climate change, it will depend. What we do now will determine whether the planet actually survives. We are here to say loudly and clearly that in our great nation, we will not accept oligarchy. We will not accept authoritarianism. We will not accept kleptocracy. We're here to make it clear that we're going to fight back and we are going to win. Every year they have a kid from the high school reciting the Gettysburg Address that Abraham Lincoln gave in 1863. And I want you all, I think you all remember what that was about. Lincoln stood there a few days after the terrible, terrible, bloody Battle of Gettysburg, where thousands and thousands of soldiers died to end the horror of slavery. So he stood on that battlefield. They looked around him, and this is what he said. He said that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, and that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. I'm here in Kenosha tonight to do my best, along with you, to see that a government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. And I gotta tell you that this is not going to be an easy fight. And I want to tell you what we are up against. I want you to think back some 6 or so weeks ago when Trump was inaugurated for his second term. Standing right behind Trump as he took his oath of office were the three wealthiest men in America. You remember that? Elon Musk, Mr. Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg. But it's not just that the three wealthiest people in America are right behind them, because right behind them, there were 13 other billionaires who Trump had nominated to head major government agencies. And I don't care whether you're a Democrat or Republican or an independent, you're conservative, progressive, whatever you are. There you had President Trump telling the whole world that administration, his administration, is a government of the billionaire class, by the billionaire class, and for the billionaire class. What we are taking on people with endless wealth. My friends, for years I have been talking about how America has been moving toward an oligarchy. Well, we're no longer moving toward that oligarchy. Today we are living in that oligarchy, and we say no. And as we speak, literally right now, the oligarchs led by Mr. Musk the wealthiest man on earth, are on the warpath against the working families of our country. Despite this is something that really I struggle with to think about. These guys are worth more money than we can almost dream of. What does it mean to be worth $10 billion, $100 billion, in Musk's case, $400 billion? They're worth unbelievable. They can take care of their families for 100 generations, all right? They have endless amounts of money. Now, all of you know that in Vermont and in Wisconsin, we have very serious addiction problems, right? We got people, horribly, we're seeing drug overdoses, people who are addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol. Alcohol's a serious problem. We got tobacco addiction, we got food addiction, we got a lot of addiction in this country. But I will tell you, the most serious addiction that we have is that we are looking at an addiction of greed on the part of the ruling class of this country. This is, honestly, I believe this is not an economic issue. We can talk about it from an economic perspective. This is more of a psychiatric issue. These people who are already enormously wealthy cannot control themselves. Think about a heroin addict. Needs more and more and more. That's what their body is craving. And that is what these guys want. They have billions, they want more billions, and they do not care about who they step on in order to become richer. And right now, in order to make themselves even wealthier, they want to dismember the federal government and cut programs that low-income and working people desperately need. And you know why they are doing that? They want to cut these programs so that they can give the 1% $1.1 trillion in tax breaks. Now, how do they do that? What's their plan? Well, their plan is to cut Medicaid by $880 billion. Now, what does that mean? It means that millions of kids will be thrown off of the health care that they have. It means, as Mark Buchan mentioned a moment ago, that when nursing homes get 2/3 of their funding from Medicaid, that if you have a mom or a dad that is in or needs to be in a nursing home, it's going to be really hard because nursing homes all over this country are going to be closing down. It means that if you go to a community health center, 32 million people do that, they are going to be unable to provide you the care that you need because 40% of their revenue comes from Medicaid. But that is not all that they are now attempting to do. It's not just cutting Medicaid. They are now going after Social Security. In America today, 22% of seniors are trying to survive on $15,000 a year or less. You tell me how anybody can survive on $15,000 a year. I don't care whether you are in Wisconsin, Vermont, or any place. All right? You got 50% of seniors trying to get by on $30,000 a year. Right now, because of the inadequate funding of the Social Security Administration, they are understaffed right now. Some 30,000 people die every year waiting for understaffed Social Security to approve disability benefits. Can you believe that? That's what we got now. And Musk's plan to cut Social Security staff by 50%. will result in the deaths of thousands and thousands of seniors who will never be able to get on the phone and talk to somebody and get the benefits that they paid into and that they deserve as American citizens. But it's not just Medicaid and health care for kids, and it's not just Social Security. They are going after veterans as well. You know, I, some years ago, had the honor, and it really was an honor, to be the chairman of the Senate Veterans Committee, and I worked as hard as I could. And I really don't care what your political view is. I think almost every American understands that when men and women put their lives on the line to defend this country, we got to stand with them and make sure they get the benefits that they were promised. The Trump administration announced that they were going to lay off 83,000 employees at the Veterans Administration. They're going to gut the Department of Veterans Affairs, jeopardizing the health and well-being of millions of veterans. Today, it's not just me. Today, the Veterans of Foreign Wars issued a statement, and I quote, "We now call upon VA to reconsider its planned reduction of 83,000 employees and thoroughly review any proposed cuts prior to rolling out further announcements like this," end of quote. I stand with the VFW. No cuts to the VA. Trump and Musk want to dismantle the Department of Education. So let me tell you what that means. It means that 27 million kids in low-income and working-class communities all over this country will see those schools lose funding. Those schools are struggling now, and the situation will only get worse. Right now, all over America, low-income, working-class kids are trying to figure out they want to get a higher education. They have the dream of going to college. Well, they're going to kill the Pell Grant program as well. And on top of all of this, as part of their effort to cut programs so that they can give tax breaks to billionaires, they want to go after nutrition programs to the tune of $230 billion. And these are people, these billionaires, they live in incredible opulence. They own, homes, and they got jet planes, and they got yachts, and they, send their kids to fancy schools. They go up in space in their spaceships. And just imagine for a moment the vulgarity of these people with so much wealth trying to get another tax break by cutting nutrition programs for hungry kids. That is truly disgusting. Some people may say, well, that's really bad. I know that lives are going to be hurt. People that hope to get a decent retirement. People can't pay their mortgages. What's going to happen to all these workers? We're concerned about that, but I want you all to understand this. People like Musk are working day and night trying to expand artificial intelligence and robotics. Think for a moment, if they are able to helter-skelter throw hundreds of thousands of federal employees out on the street, what do you think they will do with the explosion of artificial intelligence and robotics that we will soon see? Do you think they give a damn about workers who will be impacted? So
Opening, the quiet revolution has already begun. Visuals, fast-paced montage, worker-owned factories, Zapitasta villages, Free State gatherings, Black Panther breakfast programs, overlaid text. Don't wait for permission. Build the world you want. Narration. What if the next revolution isn't about taking over the system, but building something better outside of it? Around the world, people are already doing this. They're waking up from broken systems and creating parallel societies, self-sustaining communities, worker-owned businesses, independent economies, and decentralized networks. They're proving that another world isn't just possible, it's already happening. Today, in just 5 minutes, we'll show you how. Case studies, proof that it works. Visual, quick-cut examples with bold text overlays. Zapitastas, Mexico, governed themselves, built their own schools, hospitals, and farms, no government aid, thriving for 30-plus years. Mondragon, Spain, 100% worker-owned, 80,000-plus jobs, $1 billion cooperative economy. Free State Project, US, thousands moved into New Hampshire to rewrite local laws and build a liberty-based society. Black Panther community programs fed thousands of children daily, forced the government to copy them. Narration. Each of these movements built power outside the system, not by waiting for politicians, but by taking control over their own food, money, education, and security. These aren't just ideas, they work. The strategy. Visual, split-screen animations, left side shows existing system, corporate-controlled, centralized, dependent. Right side shows parallel society, local, self-sufficient, decentralized. Narration, you don't need permission to start. The strategy is simple. Create systems that make the old ones irrelevant. Here's how. 1. Local economies. Stop feeding corporations. Buy, trade, and invest in local businesses. Barter networks and worker cooperatives. 2. Decentralized knowledge. Schools teach obedience. We teach real skills. Share knowledge. Create underground libraries. Support open source tech. 3. Mutual aid and community networks. Take care of each other. Start food co-ops, time banks, tool libraries. Build resilience before crisis hits. 4. Energy and resource independence. Own water, food, and power. Grow, harvest, and store your resources instead of relying on failing institutions. And 5. Information control. Censorship is real. Use encrypted communication, build independent media, and own your data. The challenge: overcoming resistance. Historic footage of movements being targeted by governments, cooperations, and economic pressures. Whenever people build real independence, the system fights back. The Black Panthers, sabotaged by the FBI. The Zapitastas, isolated and attacked. The Mondragon, forced to compete in global capitalism. Free State Project, political pushback. The lesson: they fear people who don't need them. But when movements build strong communities, decentralized networks, and local support, they survive and thrive. The call to action is to start now. This isn't a theory, it's something you can start today. Support local businesses and cooperatives. Grow food, store water, and go off-grid where possible. Learn real skills and share knowledge. Use encrypted communication and independent platforms. Build parallel networks in your own town or online. The revolution isn't coming, it's already here. The only question is, are you a part of it? The system wants us to think you're powerless. You need them. But the truth, you don't. We don't have to wait for change, we build it. One step at a time, one community at a time, one movement at a time. We are Bootleg, We are free. We are done waiting.